Hello. Good morning. My name is Bita Sadanandan, and today is the 2nd of March 2026, and the time is 6:30 a.m. The area of body we would be paying more attention to in maintaining health of is the region of the lower thighs through the Nirbeeja Yoga method of health maintenance. Um, Now, Nirbeeja Yoga is a person-centric. It's a personal health maintenance practice. So it is an individual practice in maintaining being human and being oneself. Um, so there is this idea of me within our different identities, personas, personalities. And when we point to ourselves, we either say I or we say me. And we generally tend to point to somebody else when we say you. But there is a reference to take care of yourself, believe in yourself. So there's a certain confusion there. But when somebody says believe in yourself, we tend to believe in ourself. And the word is ourself, not yourself. And then we don't say myself. When somebody says believe in yourself, we take care of myself, improve self, my, me and my stuff, maybe more personal. And what Nirbeeja Yoga addresses is the ability to take care of myself, which means a differentiation over time of me, you, us, ours, theirs, and then detangling from the different variations through these, different combinations through these, which then causes word-based challenges, relationship challenges, our ability to relate to ourselves, take care of ourselves, with, in the sense, myself, take care of myself versus my identities versus my relationship with ourself. So, Shabda Kosha Shuddhikaran, okay, words are some of the paradigms of thinking that Nirbeeja Yoga helps to detangle, make clear, and then thereby also help move history and herstory forward for the better. Because we each of us are born from a set of parents, mother, father material, and so have our own history and her story from where we came into existence. And our relationship with life, ourselves, all that there is in existence, reality, illusion, are also given by the words we use, the words we address address ourselves, and also address our body parts. While lungs and heart and intestines were discovered, different people discovered them in their own ways. And then we have several methods of healthcare, allopathy, Ayurveda, homeopathy. And it's the same human body referred to, but our ability to relate with them may be different or maybe difficult because in your language, the lungs may be called with a different name. But you have lungs by which you breathe. So Nirbeeja Yoga helps to take care of your health while there may be words, while you may or may not be able to feel your different parts of your body, you still have a body that's human. And the necessity to maintain the health of your human body and to maintain being yourself, or rather, I'd say myself, to maintain being myself while there are different identities and different realms of relationship, networks of relationships based on words. So using the words I have in English, I'm attempting to bring your attention to the lower thigh area. That is the region of your thighs closer to your knees by which to take care of my own health. Okay. If there is a me in the person who is listening to this, then the lower part of the thighs that is closer to the knees is the area of body I am attempting to help maintain health of. Okay. So I'm in different stages of communicating this method of yoga. So I'm going to be referring to me and my experiences. And if you can relate with the me that is in your experience, human experience, and then to appreciate health from my perspective versus your perspective or any other perspective, it will help to improve my health and being human. Yeah. And take care of my world. Yeah. So if there is a me inside you, then taking care of your world. Well, you're my world. Yeah. Okay. Now, I invite you to um, take a seat on a chair with your ankles, with ankles placed at a 90 degrees to your knees, knees being at 90 degrees to hips, and the vertebral column stacked one on top of the other. And then to be able to pay attention to the posture of head, wherein the head, when the head is on top of your shoulder, yeah, and balanced evenly between the left and right sides, where your ears are more in alignment with your shoulders. And noticing if the shoulders are relaxed. That is, if the shoulder muscles are tense or not. So that would give a certain indication of how relaxed versus tense are the shoulders. And if the shoulders tend to be rising up as though trying to meet the ears, if there is a tendency of the shoulder muscles tending to rise up to meet the ears, there may be a tension in the muscles. And paying attention to warmth, softness, and any sense of relaxation would help shoulders rest than try to go meet ears. Okay? Now, on that note, if you can feel any sense of relaxation about the region of your upper shoulders, I invite you to bring your attention to your pelvis and your seat on the chair, the region where sitting is becoming possible. And then notice weight of your upper body, weight of body on the chair or on the tissues that are sitting on the chair. So there are tissues about the thighs, which are also sitting on the chair. There is the region of the tailbone, the back of the pelvis, which is also sitting on the chair. And the back of the pelvis may be taking more of the weight from the upper body than the region of the thighs, which are sitting on the chair. I invite you in this posture, noticing where the weight of your body is more felt. Most likely, if you are not slouching or slightly bended forward, if you're sitting back with your spine stacked right on top of each other, with the head right on top of your spine, the weight is more likely to be about the back of your body sitting on the chair. And then make sure your knees are at a 90 degrees to the floor. Now, if there is a tendency to move your legs into another posture, consciously or unconsciously, try and bring your attention to this tendency by noticing if your posture is at 90 degrees. Every now and then, try and see if your posture continues to be maintained at 90 degrees or have you shifted your posture. Okay? And you don't have to change it, but noticing that your posture has changed from the 90 degrees to something else would be an indication that there has been a subconscious, unconscious, or supraconscious process. It is only to be aware that your posture has changed. Okay? So this is a point of reference from where taking care of the lower part of thighs in this common space where I can't see you, you can't see me, but you can hear my voice, and that is the method, the Nirbeeja Yoga method of taking care of health. Okay? Just a frame of reference. Since we are all having the same human body with different plus and minus. We are alive because there's a head, neck, shoulders, yeah, and pelvic girdle with spine supporting the body, plus or minus limbs. Some people have all four, some have 3, 2, yeah, I don't know, 1, yeah, or 0. But nevertheless, we have an alive human body because there's a head, neck, shoulders, spine, and pelvic girdle. Otherwise, we wouldn't be alive. Basic minimum requirements. Now, and everything else is according to your job in the whole scheme of things. For you to do your job, you require the body composition you have. And we are in different stages of maintaining health of the body we have. Now, lower thighs region. Yeah. So this would be applicable to those who have lower thighs. Yeah, have thighs, and the region of the thighs closest to the knee joint. Now, why is being present in this live session important, even if you don't have limbs? Yeah, legs is so there is a better understanding of the experience of living of people who do have legs and have lower thighs and have existential angst. Yeah, their ability to maintain health versus not, and consequently, the kind of behaviors that people with legs have who have a lower thigh, who may not have taken time to take care of the lower thigh region. Okay, behavior dynamics change. Now, and if you're wondering why are humans behaving the way they are, that may be because they have legs, okay? And they may or may not be aware of the lower thighs and how the lower thigh region contributes to the experience of their life and the job they do from the geographical location they live in. Okay. Now, in the 90-degree seated posture on the chair, yeah, with ankles easily rested at this 90-degree angles, which brings the least tension to the bony structure and consequently to the muscular structure. I invite you to bring your attention to the joint about the knees and then pay attention to any sense of muscular sensibility, your ability to sense muscles. And then to pay attention to the cuff, so to speak. That is the region of the joint where the upper thigh, where the thighs have a relationship with the knees. It's a bony joint with the lower legs, with the kneecaps forming a relationship, that this like a joint or a connector between the lower legs and the upper legs by a small kneecap, and then some liquid packets, yeah, that then makes the joint fluid, lubricated. Otherwise, there is tensions. Yeah. So that's about some of the reasons the lower thigh region, that is the region of the thighs connecting with the knees, tends to have tensions. Not being aware of the knee joint, that is upper legs connected with the lower legs with a small kneecap forming the rounding surface or the movability surface. Yeah. And then liquid pouches, packets, maintaining the lubrication of the joint. Not being aware of the anatomy of the knee joint is also cause for why the lower thigh region tends to have tensions. Okay. Over and above that, okay, a little bit of knowledge there. So when there are tensions, yeah, or difficulties about the lower thigh region, the causes could be the liquid pouch, yeah, which maintains a lubrication, or tension about how the lower uh, muscle or lower bones, lower leg bones, and the upper leg bones connect at the joint. Yeah. How the bones are having ease or tension, which means are they having bony material enough to not break or to maintain, to carry the weight of the body? Accordingly, is the tension of the muscles. Also, so if you haven't been taking care of your bone health, sufficient calcium, or you're walking enough, which then also helps to maintain the weight, your weight carryability of your bones. If you have been sleeping for a long time, if you have been lying horizontal for a long time, your bone strength or the ability of your bones to carry your body weight may not be as good. And so you may lose balance. So the health of your bones, yeah, or how frequently you walk, and so your bones' memory of how to carry your body weight could be affecting the health of the lower thighs. Yeah, we are only maintaining the lower thigh region here. But some of the causes for why you may be facing difficulties, pains, could be because of habituation. What you practice more often, the body tissues remember how to take care of them more often. What you exercise gets better. So when you're walking more often, your bones remember how to carry your weight without causing balance concerns. So it becomes an intuitive intelligence. Your bones have an intelligence of their own, muscles have an intelligence of their own, skin have an intelligence of their own. So the more you're exercising these regions than just sitting more often, reduces the natural intelligence of these different structures in maintaining health. Okay. And being aware of these tissues through the Nirbeeja Yoga method helps to maintain the tonicity of these different muscles, even if you're not walking as often. Like if you're a software engineer and you have to sit a long time, regularly paying attention to the tone of these different tissues helps maintain their, well, tonicity, the ability to maintain being these tissues, even if you're not walking as much. But you wouldn't become putty, like one tissue seeming like the other tissue. And yeah, so integrity, the bone department doing bone department's work, muscle department doing muscle department's work, skin department doing skin department's work. Yeah. nervous system doing that body parts, nervous system doing that body parts, nervous system work. Yeah. Otherwise, there could be internal confusion between departments. And then you'll be wondering, why is work not getting done? Or you're having varicose veins, lower part, or you're having stress tensions about the thighs. Yeah. Now, and then there are different other activities over and above awareness. Okay. Over and above awareness, mindfulness, and present moment appreciation, which is another facet of Nirbeeja Yoga, which is you being aware of your tissues, you being mindful of the different tissues such that one is not impinging into another tissue's activity, which means you don't have a fracture, which is then impinging into what the muscles can do, because then the muscles can't do their work. Yeah. So being aware of the tensions between these different tissues, make sure these tissues are functioning like how they need to be functioning. Yeah. And then, so there is a certain tension about these different tissues. Bones have a tension, muscles have a tension of their own, and being aware of them and being mindful that they are functioning as themselves, not functioning as something else, is also by generally checking how is your legs, how is the departments of the legs, are all the people in the legs functioning like themselves, or is there any difference in tension? Yeah, because then there will be tension, intention versus extension problems. And then what you do in life would be given by the departments not knowing what they need to be doing. Yeah. And then present moment appreciation. Every tissue have their own pulse. Bones have a pulse, muscles have a pulse, skin has a pulse. Each tissue pulses in their own time because bones have a density that is different from the density of skin. And the lower thigh region has tissues which have a pulse that's different from the lower leg region. Otherwise, lower thighs cannot do the work of lower thighs because it would be functioning at the lower legs time, and that wouldn't do. Yeah, because if you need to have breakfast at dinner time, what is going to happen to the food that is required to go into your body at the breakfast time? Yeah, so everything has its own time and space and activity. Lower thigh region have their own time, yeah, because they pulse at their own time. They have their own tissue beat, right? Life beat. Okay. So there is heartbeat, lung beat, life beat. Well, let's just say tissue beat, bone beat, muscle beat, skin beat, artery beat, vein beat, capillary beat, etc. beat. Yeah, there are many other movements. So your body has lots of times. Yeah, lots of times. So times are changing in the lower thigh region alone. And we're not even talking about other regions of your body. So times are changing. And you have a clock to remind you of what time it is today at this point in time in your geographical location. And there are so many times in one part of your body. Can you imagine how many times there is multiplication, or how much time you have, how many times you can make changes for the better? Yeah. So there is slowly progressive improvement of your stories of life, of your history and her story, because the right side of the body is said to be the male side and left side of your body is said to be the female side. So you would be moving his story and her story forward for the better by your being aware of the times that keep changing between the left and right sides of your body, while you can also look at the clock and notice the time is changing. How fast? No. How fast can you change things? You only have to be aware of the different times. And it is not a simple task because a lot of people can't even feel their skin. So, if you continue to keep showing up on these lives or you listen to these lives, um, you could get better if you'd like specific help, support in being able to feel the times of your body. Yeah. Or let's just say, be able to be mindful or to be aware of the different tissues of your body. I recommend clicking on learn.dynamicstillnesses.com, LEARN dot DYNAMICSTILLNESSES.com, where I'm developing courses to be able to make it easier for you to be aware, mindful, and present moment appreciative. Otherwise, we tend to go into complaints and lose the benefit of what we already have. For example, the different times we have, which, when we are aware of our own body, helps improve our own history and her story for the better. So there is a better sync, no, harmony between the microcosm and the macrocosm, the Jivatma and Paramatma, in terms of time, space, relativity. Yeah? And also particulars and vehiculars, matter and energy, and several other such complementary opposites, including me versus you, I versus you. Yeah. Um, yeah. And the interesting relationship called love, which also is like a hinge door between unconditional love and unconditional hate, but all hinged on this swing door called love. And according to the health of the love, no, health of your body tissues, seven dhatus, is the quality of love you have, which may or may not be as optimal as it needs to be. Yeah. People also deal with seven cardinal sins because of substance caking different dhatus, seven dhatus that their body is made up of. Yeah. Also called rasa dhatu, rakta dhatu, um, mamsa, medusa, asti, majja, shukra, and health and fertility and existential angst, your ability to be, not live. Yeah. What do you seek liberation from? So complaints, you may not even be listening to your own complaints. And so you may or may not be aware of what are the challenges you're dealing with, for which you pray to God, while you may not be clear about what is that you want a solution for. Yeah. So being aware, mindful, and present moment appreciative helps you be more clear about what you want to do, why you want to do it, and how to do it such that the microcosm, that's your body, and the macrocosm, which is also having a lot of things, including rocket making technologies, will be having solutions, and you would be able to access those solutions by which to go beyond your challenges. And then there is God and the universe and multiverse and many such details. When you're aware of what you have, you're more likely to make use of what all there is for the better realization of your existential um, reasons for being in existence. Yeah. Several concerns in your being in existence, and the gifts that you bring to life from you being in existence. And going through your struggles or not, yeah, in maintaining health, wealth, and wisdom. So Shrishti optimization is the reason for the existence of this enterprise. Okay, Shrishti optimization through premium health, wealth, and wisdom at affordable price is the reason for the existence of my enterprise. And this has come about over several cycles of evolution, where it used to be Srushti optimization, and now it's come to Shrishti optimization. So, through these lives, if you're not at least becoming healthier, wealthier, wiser, I am not making my content clearer or easily available, because of which you're not becoming healthier, wealthier, wiser. And if those concerns are there, do let me know. I'm also paying attention to details. But simply making these lives may not be giving you the kind of health, wealth, wisdom, sustainable health, wealth, wisdom that is possible through Shrishti optimization, which is why I'm putting up content on learn.dynamicstillnesses.com. Slowly, there are several stages of how to make that possible. And I'm working through with several people, several groups of people. Meanwhile, there are these lives. Do come, do listen, and make notes where you see possible or where you think would or add value or multiply. Or let's just say continue to add, and over time it becomes multiplication. Yeah. Fast track addition is multiplication. Yeah. And fast track subtraction is division. Yeah. So if you can at least notice addition versus subtraction, wherein becoming healthier or how to become healthier is getting added as a value in your life, and your problems are in some way getting subtracted or becoming less prominent or affecting your life less, then you're having the benefits, the addition versus subtraction benefits. Yeah. And over time, if you're writing down what are your thoughts, what's showing up for you through participation, you'll be able to track how you may be getting better or not from these lives. And then when can you click on the link, join the school, so you can have better values, because you can see then that where you may be facing challenges may also be where the subtraction or addition is not happening as well as you'd like to, because of which you may be not getting as healthy, wealthy, wiser as you could. So these are more tips or small little bits of information by which you know there is this school and there is this way to become healthier, wealthier, wiser. And so you're not without help, you're not without resources. Yeah. And in today's life, if you have been a little more aware of the knee joint and the relationship with the lower thighs in the half an hour that we have been talking, then that is what is possible in this morning's half an hour live. Every day is different. I would also be showing up in the evening between 6:30 and 7. So depending on physiology, depending on the location changes, time, space, different affects, what can be said at a point in time is what I'm making available through these lives. So morning time, this became possible. Let's see what happens in the evening between 6:30 and 7, because what happens in the environment, who's there listening, how is the physiology functioning, how is the Annamaya kosha, Pranamaya kosha, Manonmaya kosha, Vijnanamaya kosha, Anandamaya kosha, Shabda kosha. So at least these 6 layers of a human being, influenced by different activities in the environment or in the time of the day, and then what can be said in the half an hour about a region of the body on that date. Today, this morning, this became possible. Let's see what shows up in the evening between 6:30 and 7. We would still be addressing some areas of life, but definitely focused around one body part, one area of the body. Okay. So let's see. It's a dynamic stillnesses, but it's also biodynamic living, where you can appreciate your body from the interactions between the antaranga, the world inside, and the world outside at a point in time in a geographical location. Yeah. With the kind of health that is there in the environment at a point in time. Yeah. It also depends on, are there clouds in the sky at this time, or is it a no cloud sky, or is there going to be rain? So all that affects um, different layers of our physiology and our talkability. So present moment appreciation is part of what Nirbeeja Yoga makes available. So we can keep complaining, only so much was said, or you can notice so much could be said. When you're appreciative of what's happening, what's there to be said, what could be said at this point in time. And there's also a reason why things happen this way. That's when also how you're appreciative of what's happening in this moment and what is better said, and how everybody get to be benefited from being appreciative of the present moment, mindful and aware of what's there, what's moving, how things are taking shape. And then writing notes helps keep track of what happened at between 6:30 and 7 on 2nd of March 2026. That's also called a diary or a journal. Yeah. Over time, you will be able to track how your life has been, at least in 2 half-an-hours through the day. Yeah. Thank you so much for your kind interest. I hope this has been of value to you. Good day.